Hello, my name's Colby Lewis. I'm the owner of the law offices of Colby Lewis. This is Hold My Briefcase, where we talk about everyday legal issues in ways that you can understand them. That way you can be educated to protect your rights. Today, we're going to be talking about Texas wrongful death lawsuits. Sometimes people face the hardest problems of their life when a loved one is killed through no fault of their own. Getting a call, learning that terrible news is devastating. Losing a loved one unexpectedly is one of the hardest things that I have to work with my clients. It adds a different layer of complexity to this case, to their case, because it is not only the dealing with the family and helping the family to get through it, it's pushing through an insurance company that immediately knows that they have to put up the best, strongest defense possible. So from the very start, they're pushing hard. That's why it's very important to have an attorney. And I've been an attorney for 20 years. My name's Colby Lewis. I'm going to talk to you about what you need to know to understand your legal rights. And I'm going to be covering some law. Specifically, I'm going to give you a brief overview of how Texas law deals with wrongful death. Now, first and foremost, it is super important that you take what's called timely action. The law doesn't like it when you rest on your rights. And so that's why we have what's called the Statute of Limitations, which I'm sure you've heard about before, or the SOL as we call it in the industry. And that is for personal injury lawsuits and death, it's 2 years from the date of the incident. But the reality is that you want to get informed and you want to get ahead as soon as possible. The wrongful death lawsuits require extensive investigation. Usually we'll go out on the scene, maybe even hours after the accident, to collect the data in order to prove what was done wrong. A lot of times these are 18-wheeler cases where an 18-wheeler driver is not paying attention and kills someone. You can better believe that the 18-wheeler company is going to have their person out there, their private investigator, making sure they get anything they need to prove that they're not responsible. Whether that's the case or not might not jive with what they're trying to tell you. And remember, they're not required, the insurance company and the other side's not required to tell you the truth. They can tell you all day long, well, we got a video. Well, we got a video. Really? Show it. Well, we've got doctors that will tell you that they shouldn't be hurt that bad. Really? Give me their names. I'll go depose them. Oh, suddenly they change their tune. But back to wrongful death, there is an actual legal definition, and there's some requirements. There's this Texas Civil Practices and Remedies Code, which is commonly called the TCPRC, and it gives the explanation on what is required in order to have essential elements in order to have it established, to establish a wrongful death claim. And it's pretty straightforward. Somebody has to die. There's only so many people, there's only certain people who can file, and that's the spouse, the children, and the parents of the deceased. It excludes siblings and other family members. It's called a survival action for the estate. So the person is no longer with us, but the estate remains. It's just like if anybody else were to die. Right? What happened to that person, it took their life. That took value away from that person. And even though they're not here to retrieve that value, because remember, when we're dealing with damages in a personal injury lawsuit, it's not an award. It's not a bonus. It's not a gift. They didn't win the lottery. Rather, what we're doing is we're trying to compensate for the harms and losses that were incurred by my client, right? It's just like any monetary distinction, right? If I steal $100 from you, compensation is you get $100 back, right? If you hurt me and I am unable to perform my job for a month and I get paid $4,000 a month or before taxes, then you should compensate me $4,000 a month. Not every case, of course, goes to trial. In fact, my job is to make your case so strong that only a fool would need to go to trial. It's not that I need to be the best lawyer in front of jurors. I just need to be the best telling the insurance company and their insured what they did wrong. And that is, important, because just because you win at trial doesn't mean you collect. And it is usually through settlement that you have the quickest resolution. There's no appeals. There's no trying to collect. It's just settling for the paycheck, and you buy peace of mind, and you get to put this behind you. And that resolution usually comes through mediation. It will come through negotiation. But the best way to prepare yourself for it is to speak with an attorney. The attorney that you work with is probably going to have a lot of experience. For example, I've been in hundreds of mediations. I just got done taking a training class on specifically addressing these issues. And the takeaway motto from that was, trials feed egos, settlements feed family. And I am happy to put my client first to make sure that they get the quickest, best settlement that they can.